Hello, here we are. It's Sunday night. Well, it's Sunday night for you right now as you're watching this. I'm actually pre-recording this one because at the time that you guys are going to be watching this, I'm going to be traveling. So I couldn't be here live tonight, so I decided to pre-record so you'd still have something fun to watch and listen to, and you can still talk to each other. So those things are still in place. Tonight, it's Sunday night, what's the date? The 21st. Is that right? Yes, the 21st. And goodness me, Cookie has decided this is a good time to make some noise. But anyway, I hope everyone is well. I'm going to be doing something fun with you guys tonight. I'm on the squeaky chair again, and my husband's not home, so I don't know where the WD-40 is. So hopefully I'll try not to move around too much and make it squeak too much. I hope everyone is well. You've had a really nice weekend. I'm heading, the reason I'm not available tonight is I'm on the Stampin' Up incentive trip to Norway, of all places. It was meant to be a Baltic cruise, but because of things going on in the Baltic region that are not very nice right now, they switched us to Norway instead, and that's why we're going there. So it was a little bit of a sidestep, but we're really glad to be going somewhere because this is our first trip in 4 years. We haven't been able to go since 2019. Because of COVID, of course. So, shall we get started? I hope everyone is well, and I hope you're all having a lovely evening and you're not too cold. It's going to be cold where I'm going too. It's not going to be warm. Not going to be a warm trip. So actually, we've got to take our winter woolies. It's one of those. It might be a little bit of warm weather and there might be a little bit of cold weather. So really not quite sure what to pack, but I'll sort that out. All right. So let's switch over to the desk. Here I am. We are using, of course, our beautiful online catalogue. You might see I've got different grid paper tonight. This grid paper is actually available at the moment with the new in colours. So I'll just show it to you. It's really nice. It's got, so this is boho blue, the new boho blue. This is copper clay. Then we have Pebble Path. I missed any? No. Pebble Path is this lovely, this is like a real neutral colour. It's beautiful, isn't it? We have Moody Mauve. Mauve is how we say it here in Australia. And this one here is called Wild Wheat. So these are the colours of the new in colours for this year. And so these ones go from 2023 to 2025. They are hopping over the other in colours that came out last year, 22, and they go to 24. So they've only got another year to go. Those were the really bright colours, the Sweet Sorbet and the Parakeet Party and the Tahitian Tide. Those ones, Starry Sky. What was the other one? Orchid Oasis. That's those ones from last year. And now we have new ones, which are very, very different. Okay, they're very, shall we say, I'm going to call them murky colors. That's not a very nice word though, and I actually really like them. I think they're fabulous. They go beautifully together. This is the new colors. This one is not quite as green as it looks there on the color of the ink pad. It's a little bit more yellow than that. I love them. I think they look beautiful together, and to me, the indication of whether this is a good set of in colors is whether you can pick any three and they're going to look good together. Okay, so my favorite three at the moment are these three: Moody Mauve, Boho Blue, and Pebble Path. They're my three. All right, so tonight will not be a long video because I'm only going to do one card with you tonight. I thought that was better, given that we're leaving tomorrow and I'm on a deadline. I thought that was better than not doing a video at all. So we're going to do one card. And this is the card I wanted to do tonight. This is actually, I did this card the other day in my class up in the Hunter Valley. So if you've seen this one before, my apologies. I'm going to show it to you again. And I'm going to show it to you in conjunction with the beautiful, gorgeous garden dies. This is them here. I hope you can see those. They're shown on page 18. So let's have a look at them. Here, I've got an example of just using a white overlay there over some beautiful paper. That to me looks like the online exclusive paper. Goodness me, Cookie. See, he'll stop and look at me because he knows I just said his name. Yes, I'm talking to you. All right, so this is what we're working with. And what I wanted to do here was, I've already got one that's cut out, but I wanted to show you both They're beautiful. There's two dies. This is the other die in the set. So there's leaves and there's flowers. Okay, and they're both lovely. I'll just show you the actual dies. So called Gorgeous Garden. Here in Australia, they are $74. So if you're wanting to get something like these, there's two of them in the pack. There's the one with the leaves, and this is the one with the flowers. Both of them are beautiful. I used the one with the flowers because I wanted to add color, so that's why I'm using that one. This leaf one, though, I can see that it looks nice in the black over a different, like a beautiful background. But also it would look lovely in vellum, don't you think? And lovely in foil. Really, really nice. So I love the way they both look, and they're open to lots of different kinds of ideas that you can use them for. All right, so this one here, you might be able to see not all the pieces have popped out. And because it's quite intricate, my suggestion to you is to use your die brush, because this will help you get these out. I was just looking to see if I had a die brush mat, but maybe I don't. That's okay. You can, if you don't have a mat handy, you don't get quite as good a result, but you can use it. And I always turn it upside down, because if anything is going to fall out, or, you might want to use your little thing here to push out some of the pieces. Not all the pieces do come out. So, for example, here on this flower, can you see this bit here is solid? There's a little hole in the middle there. And then the rest of the flower is open. So you do need to take a little bit of time and just push those pieces out, but the result is well worth it. They're really, really lovely. Another suggestion is when you run it through your cut and emboss machine, you want to run it through one way, and then to make sure you get a better cut, I bring it back again. Okay, so I cut twice when I do an intricate die like this. I think intricate dies are worth that extra bit of effort, because they are really, really beautiful. There's no way there's no way in the world that you would cut something like this out by hand. You need a die to do it, to make it worth your while. So get the best cut you can. The other thing you can do, if you're going to stick it straight down, I didn't. I actually put mine on dimensionals, and I'll show you how I did that in a second. But if you wanted to stick it straight down, another tip would be to use adhesive sheets. Okay, so we have adhesive sheets in our catalogue, which are really, really fabulous. So you attach your adhesive sheet one side, you peel the backing off one side and stick it to your piece of paper. Then you run both this paper and the adhesive sheet stuck onto it together with your die, okay, so that then you can peel the backing off when it's cut. You can peel the backing off, and then the back of your piece is sticky. So that saves you a lot of trouble, a lot of time. You will still have to possibly pick out some pieces like what I'm doing right now. But, when we first we got the die brush, I remember my son, this used to be a job I used to give him. I used to give him the job of pushing out all the pieces of my dies. And he was a bit upset that we had a brush that could do it better, because he actually really liked that job. So, all right. So I'm thinking that that's probably good enough for me for this one. And I'm just going to pop it here on there because it's easier for you to see here on the mat. All right. So what I've got here is a couple of sponge daubers. Now you could use other things to colour this. You could use watercolour pencils. You could use your ink with water painters. You could even use blends. But I'm just going to go for a really soft look with these colours. And the colours I've used here are Flirty Flamingo, even though it kind of looks a little bit corally, and that's because it's mixed with the yellow to give it more of a coral rather than a pink undertone. So the colours I'm using are Flirty Flamingo and Lemon Lolly, which is a new yellow, light, bright yellow. Really, really pretty. I started with my pink. Sorry about my squeaky chair. And I'm actually going to put this while I'm doing this. I've got my paper underneath, which is better for working on, because I am going to get ink on the base. I'm going to start in the middle of the flower. I'm going to make sure I pick up plenty of ink and make the pink pop. And we're just going to add some pink to each flower center. So this is actually a very, very easy thing to do, but really effective. Looks really good. And this is just one way to use these beautiful dies. I love them. What do you guys think? Do you like them too? So I'm kind of flicking the color out so it's not just a big blob of color, but it kind of fades out towards the edges. And I've got another piece here that I need to push out. Hang on, let me get my Take Your Pick tool. I have to buy the new attachment for the Take Your Pick tool because I really want to show you guys how it works and what you can do with it. It's a great little thing, but if you wanted to have a look yourself, it is in the catalogue. Let me give you the page number. It's up towards the back. I remember looking at it the other day and go, oh, I really need to get that. Okay, so your Take Your Pick tool is on page 145. There is the Take Your Pick, the basic Take Your Pick tool, which is with the putty end, and then the other end has the pokey tool and the flat blade. Okay, then you've got the putty refill. The new thing is the Take Your Pick crafter tips, and it has things on it like a scalpel and like a perforation, a little thingy here that makes a perforation. Really, really cool. The last thing is the brush die tip that I've just used, this one here. That's also an extra. So these are like things that you can add on to make your Take Your Pick tool even more useful. And I think that most people like something that can be like a tool that can be used for multiple things in multiple ways, because then it makes it a really, really useful thing. So that's why I'm suggesting that if you have the Take Your Pick tool and you love it, you might want to look at getting the other attachments. Right, let's have a look here. Now, while I'm doing the colouring on this, I'm just going to tell you right away that right now I'm doing my Norway giveaway, okay, and it is an inspiration bag or inspiration pack that I'll be sending out to everyone who places an order of $50 or more from now until I get back on the 6th of June. Okay, so the idea of this is so that so things are still going to be ticking along while I'm gone, so I don't come back to empty pockets. And yeah, I think that this is one way to remind everyone that I am still in business. My online store is still open. You can go to the online store. Let me put up on the screen for you. I'm just going to put up my blog address. So this is where you would go to place an order if you wanted to do it online. It's lhiggins.blogspot.com. And then there's a shop now button you can press. And when you press that, it takes you to my online store. So you'll see in the top left corner in the online store, you'll see my name appear. If it's not my name, then you haven't done it right, because if you want to be shopping with me, then you need to make sure you see my name in the corner. So what's in an inspiration pack, you ask? Well, it is a little bag, a pack of handmade cards. There'll be several handmade cards in there. I'm thinking probably 3 handmade cards is my guess. There will also be a pack of embellishments in there, and there will also be a little souvenir from my trip. Now, I'm not saying what that is yet because I've got several things in mind, and I'll be keeping my what shall we say, my antennas up looking for the right thing, but it will be a small thing. So, you know, something flat and easy for me to post. So I'm thinking maybe a keychain, maybe a magnet, maybe stickers, just something small from the trip that I pick up on my travels. All right, so you can see I have done this now. I'm not going to color all the other leaves. I'm leaving those white. You could if you wanted to, but you can see the one I've just done is actually a bit brighter. I did it a little bit more bold than the one here. So if you wanted a more subtle, soft effect, you would not use as much ink. Okay, so how do we attach this? How does it work? All right, so I'm going to grab my trimmer because I need to cut a piece of paper, and normally this is half a sheet of A4. Okay, however, just for everyone who's watching here in Australia or is using metric, if you use A4, this die is a little bit shorter than our regular A4 card fronts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. So this is the full width of a piece of A4, folded in half. Let me just grab my bone folder. But when I go to put this piece on, you'll see if I line it up with the bottom there, it's a bit short at the top. Can you see that? It's quite a bit short. So we need to trim it down. Okay. So if I remember rightly, I think it's about 14 centimeters. Does that look right? Yeah, 14. Let me go 14.1 actually, because I want to make sure there's a little bit of a border at the top and the bottom. Yep, that's going to be right. All right, so if you are using metric, you may want to cut the piece down that we're popping this onto. All right, now you'll see the flowers provide quite a bit of space for me to put glue or adhesive or whatever it is I'd like to use there. And I'm thinking if you have mini dimensionals, that would be great. I'm just not sure if I have any mini dimensionals. Let me quickly look. Oh, I have a few, but not very many. Look, I'm almost out. I need to buy some more. But I'm going to put the big dimensionals behind some of the bigger areas. So these are areas. Let me put the mat under again so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, these are. I'm putting this. Actually, I'm going to pull that one off and pop it so that the edge doesn't poke out. So anywhere that you can put a bigger dimensional because it's a bit more space, that's the place to whack one. So this one, that might be a little bit small. I probably need to put a mini dimensional there. There's a bigger one. And so it's going to take more dimensionals than you would probably normally use. Let's see if I put a couple. There's a mini there. And would you believe that's the last mini on the sheet? Let me just quickly look in my little drawer here and see if I've got any more sheets hanging around. I've got black ones, plenty of black ones, but I don't really want to use black on all this white. More black ones. All right, so here's another option. If you don't have mini dimensionals, we've also got these edge bits from a pack that I've used of normal dimensionals. And what I can do is I can come along here with my scissors. And this is a good way not to waste any of the bits left over because these act in exactly the same way. So I'm going to put this one up here. And probably we just need one more up in this corner to support that piece in the corner there. So if I grab that one like that, that's probably going to be okay. Maybe another one just down here. All right, so let's take these backs off. And because we've sort of spread them around, this will be enough to add this piece on. And what it does by having dimensionals behind it, it creates a small amount of shadow, which looks really, really good. Now, if you don't care about that, then probably just using Tombow over the back of this will give you perfectly fine stick. And of course, if you use the adhesive sheets, it'll always already be sticky. So I'm just going to pop that on here. Make sure I've got my card facing the right way. I do. And I'm just going to line that up there with the edge. And I'm only lying it down very, very gently so I can move it if I want to. All right, happy with that. Give it a good old whack. All right, you could add some Wink of Stella in the middle of the flowers if you wanted to. That would be a really nice thing to do. I'm actually going to use, surprise, surprise, a vellum circle. Okay, if you wanted to, you could add a bit of color behind this with a blending brush or your daubers. Doesn't really matter, but we just want a tiny, tiny bit coming out. Okay, so it's not very, I haven't done it very much, but you can see when I put it on here, it does add a bit of a pop of color. And I've got, this is from the Labels Aglow. I love this particular label. I just think it's really, really beautiful. And I'm going to use the Around the Bend stamp set tonight. And this one I've got the hello there. Now, Judy, if you're watching, Judy Moody, Judy asked would I be able to use the Around the Bend bundle. So I do have plans to use the dies as well, just not in tonight's video because I'm using these lovely, gorgeous garden dies instead. I'm going to use the pink for my greeting, I'm just using one of the stamps from the Around the Bend set. Let me line that up. There we go. Looks good. And let's whack a couple of dimensionals on the back. 1 and 2, just in the middle there like that. Now, if you wanted to add a bit more embellishing, like for example, you could have some punched or die cut leaves coming out from here if you wanted to. But to be honest, I didn't think it needed much else because it's such a beautiful die. You kind of want the die to be the focus, right? That's what I think. So I'm going to add a couple more. This time I'm going to give it a bit more strength and put 4. 1 and 2. And what do you think? This is a very easy little card. But so beautiful, so effective. I do think we need some bling, don't we? This one I've used the gold pastel gems. I think they look really nice. I'll just show you those. They're from this pack here. And maybe I'll use them again. Because even though this is pink, when you mix it with the yellow, as you can see, you get a kind of a corally look to it. And I was just thinking maybe I could even use, you could even get away with the coral ones. Even though this is pink, you could use the coral, but the gold is really, really pretty. So I'm going to do that again. So I'm going to put one down the bottom here and another largish one maybe just here, and a small one a little further up. Okay, what do you think? Do we like this? Now I'm just looking to see how we're going for time. We've only been 22 minutes. It's a short, quick one tonight, isn't it? So if you have any questions or is anything you would like to know, my suggestion is that you mention this in the comments, because I will be going back and checking, even though I'm not here to watch live. Actually, about the time that you guys are watching this video, I should be in the UK on my way from probably still at the at Heathrow Airport, waiting for a transfer to the port. That's probably what I'm going to be doing, but I'm not 100% sure because I need to work out exactly what time. I'm not very good at working out time zones. Oh, and I forgot to take away the banner. I am so sorry. Silly me. Silly me. At least we could see what we needed to see, right? So here's the things I wanted to focus on tonight. First of all, don't forget the Norway giveaway. If you're placing an order, $50 or more, anytime from now right through until when I get back on the 6th of June, you will be able to receive an inspiration pack from me. So remember, it's a bag with 3 cards, a pack of embellishments, and a souvenir from my trip. So I'm excited about that. We are going to be in both Norway and the UK. So I don't know 100%. I'm planning on it being Norway, but if it ends up being the UK because I don't find what I'm looking for in Norway, that could happen. But either way, it will be from the trip somewhere along the line. Okay. So I think I'm going to call this my a finished video. It's certainly a finished card. I really love how it turned out. I hope you like it too. I did do a couple of others for my class. This is one I did in fresh freesia and yellow, and doesn't that looks nice too, right? That's different but lovely. And some people at the class where I did it preferred the freesia. What do you guys think? Do you prefer the freesia or do you like the flamingo? I don't know. I think they both look good. Here's a little tip. When you're using this die, if you have an area where it didn't press out very well, then I would put this down the bottom, and that's where I would put my label. I'd have it, you know, going over here, because then you won't see the bits that haven't popped out. But that's totally up to you. If there's anything you want to cover, that's always where you pop a label, right? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being with me tonight. And I'm sorry I'm not with you. And I'm sorry it's a shorter video. But over the next couple of weeks, that's probably what you're going to get. I'm still going to have things posting every day or two. And I really hope that I'll be able to post some pictures of our trip, maybe things that we're doing and people that we're meeting and some of the stuff that we get to see, because I'd love to share that with you. Okay. Have a fantastic evening, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.